We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how technology dictates how we buy and sell properties.
Yep.
We like to think we have a lot of choices in life, but we have no choice about this.
Yeah, you got to keep up, man.
I was talking to one of my buddies recently, and I said, hey, what's going on? And I haven't, like a guy that I went to college with, like I haven't talked to him in 5 or 8 years. I said, what's going on? He said, well, I'm reading this book that Bill Gates just wrote. And I said, that's really interesting because I'm a huge fan of Bill Gates. And I said, what's it about? He said it's about the future of Windows, and not just Windows, but computers and operating systems and how it's going to go. And I said, I don't know you're interested in that. And he said, yeah, I'd like to see how my life's going to go.
I didn't know who. Do I know this person?
No.
Oh.
The whole point is, I'd like to see how my life's going to go. Like, we don't decide how our lives are going to go. Windows does.
I'm just kind of curious. You're like, nope, you don't know. Like, what the heck?
It's somebody.
What is this? Is he too smart for me?
What?
I don't know.
No.
That's just kind of like, he's a really smart guy. You don't know.
It's somebody that I went to college with that I haven't talked to forever, and we were just social media back and forth. And it'll be another.
Now
his name's
it comes
Chris, and it'll
out.
be another.
Are you
probably
just
20 years before I talk to him
Are
again.
you just embarrassed because you were in instant messaging or whatever on Facebook? I'm just teasing you and communicating with an old buddy. It's
No.
good. Okay. I'm making light of it. We're just having fun.
Good.
Okay.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Because I am here to have fun.
Me too.
By the way. Okay. Just making sure. All right. So here's the question. Lee asks, hello all. Been reading the forums for a couple of weeks and joined Land Academy yesterday. I'm going through the Land Academy 1.0, watching the videos where Stephen does the data. Here's my question. How much is the data? I've seen 10 cents. When I purchase lists from ListSource in the past, it's per record. Does this mean Steve would have to pay $2,300 for the 23,000 records in his example? I'm planning to get my first mailer out within 2 weeks, though starting with 1,000 to test my systems before I'm slowly ramping up. If I'm sending to a county, with 20,000 records, is that going to cost me $2,000 before I scrub it down? Thanks. And I see some of our members have already chimed in, so I'll read that. Kyle wrote, Lee, great question. Yes, Steve does spend that much on the data in this example. Each record is 10 cents, but you don't have to spend that much. When you're pulling data, you can set the parameters of what records you want RealQuest Pro to pull up. For example, if you want every vacant parcel in the county, it's going to be a ton of records. But if you want to limit it to the vacant parcels between 5 and 10 acres, your sample size would be much smaller. The last mailer I sent out, I pulled 2,500 records,
Right.
cost me $250, and ended up sending 1,400 offers. That costs $800. You can do a lot of pre-scrubbing, and that will keep your data costs down. Hope that helps. And that's exactly right. Be specific. You can tailor it however you want. I know that you do a lot of that. Do you want to expand?
Well, I don't know if I could really improve on the other member's question answer.
Okay.
There's this costs a little bit of money to start.
There's a couple things. There's hundreds of parameters, let's just say, that you can choose from when you're doing this. I know some people go for, we choose 100% equity. We choose 0% improvement. So we make sure that gets us land, right? 0% improvement, meaning nothing's on it. So we pretty much can tell it's a rural vacant land, never been improved. And then 100%, equity, which
meaning
is
there's no debt.
They own it 100%. So there's no bank.
There's a lot of other land use perimeters too. Like if you just go in and choose 5-acre properties in a county, you're going to get a ton of records. But this is what we teach in our education. So this person hasn't been through all of the education yet. Yeah. I mean, you don't send offers to people who own cemeteries or
Right.
hospital vacant lots or stuff that's zoned heavy industrial. You don't want to buy that property. You're just wasting their time and your time and spending money on data and mail and stuff. So there's a real specific way that we teach about this. These are the parameters that work for us. Rural vacant land. You know, I can't list them all now. There's too many. But you know what we found too is that there's other business models in sending mail to not necessarily cemeteries, but for somebody maybe. So
Somebody wants to buy a golf course. Somebody wants to buy a pond.
right.
Somebody wants to buy, that's true. It's all
Yeah.
available. It's all in there. I was going to add too, one thing that's a really good example is spend the money on the data. And I learned this from you. Spend the money on the data because that's cheaper than spending the money on the mail.
Yeah.
And having more data is not a bad thing because in there you get a real good gauge of not only the county, but those are also your buyers. People that you're not going to send 6 offers to, you're going to download it and see, wow, shucks. You might kick yourself and go, darn, that guy owned 10, maybe 50 properties. Gosh, I didn't need to spend 50 cents, or whatever, or $5 really when that's what it is. Guy owns 50 properties, you spent $5 to download the same guy's information. Big flipping deal. For $5, now you know he's your buyer. I mean, that's the thing to look at it too. So, and you'll get into it and you'll learn the money, and you really want to save the money on the mail. You want to price it right. And that's why we help you with that.
The return on investment for sending out a mailer is staggeringly positive.
Yes.
I can go through the math really quickly here. It's 10 cents a record. If you use offers to owners, which Jill and I own, which everybody does in our group, because it's made for this, I think it costs 50 cents. So you're into an offer for about 60 cents ish.
Yeah.
You know, if you send out 1,000 offers, I think that, what is that, $600? You're probably going to buy a property, and you're probably going to make 10 grand on it.
And you're going to buy a great property.
Yeah, because you're not going to make a bad acquisition decision because you went through all of our education and watch our stuff. So let's say you make 5 grand on it instead of 10. You do some stuff wrong or whatever. I mean, you spend $600 to make 5 grand.
Yep.
So this group wouldn't be how it is and
It's
lasted
true.
this long and have this much
you imagine?
comments
Oh my gosh.
if this didn't work.
Hey, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Can you imagine? We wouldn't still be sitting here like we are from 2015 if this wasn't working. Could you imagine? That
Well,
would be
that's 1999.
or that too. But I mean, just since Land Academy.
Yeah.
I look at it that way. I mean, even just since we started Land Academy, started sharing it, we wouldn't have this many people doing this well if there wasn't something to it.
Here's another thing. It costs a little money up front. And so, I have this rule that I never go to anything that's free, like free. Like a state fair, which is probably not even free anymore.
That's not free.
But, stuff that's free attracts a certain type of person.
Good point.
So this is not free, and it's not free for a reason because it weeds out the people that expect some stuff that are free. So you got to put some money into this and you got to educate yourself. We provide all this stuff, obviously, up front and realize the value on the back end and make sense of it. And we just interviewed one of our members. I think it's 2 weeks ago. It aired 2 weeks ago, I think. And this guy owns and owned a very successful home remodeling company.
Travis, is it Travis? Yeah. I was thinking about it too.
And he was just shocked at how effective these mail campaigns are and how much positive stuff comes back.
It's great.
Like he I don't like to use this terminology, but he called it hot leads. Like people will call you back and say, I do want to sell my property for this,
Right.
And so there's a lot of reasons why it's great. And we talked about it for 1,100 episodes almost.
And then we're like,
But
okay,
every
what
once in a
number are we
while-
on? I don't know.
Every once in a while, people get sticker shock like this. Like it costs 60 cents to send out an offer. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
Could you? Oh, all right. Don't even get me started on that one.
I know. I riled you up.
Yeah, thank you.
Today's topic, technology dictates how we buy and sell property. This is the meat of the show. So my Bill Gates thing in my Windows top comment at the very beginning of the show is not that far off. This topic came up because Jill and I, quite literally, were getting ready in our bathroom together, and she said this is what we talk about in the morning. How sad is this? Oklahoma's no longer really an abstract state because it's become obsolete. How much geeks are we?
I know.
That's exactly what you said. And I'm
I
like,
know.
oh yeah, this is great. I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I know.
This is our life.
Like, this is what I'm digging up right now.
That's how I came up with this topic, but go ahead on this abstract thing.
Well, I'm still doing some of the research, but the way it used to be and the way it is now are very, very different. It used to be you had to have an abstract, which was basically the chain of title, and it was like a book. It was a stack of papers, and you would hand it to the next guy, and it would show that the chain of title. And it was valuable; it's worth money, and it would show the chain of title being passed along forever, right? And it was done correctly and everything. So we are in the process with a number member, helping them purchase a bunch of Oklahoma property. And I'm going, you need to get this from them. And none of the sellers have it. They're like, nobody knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, all right, call the counties. Let's see what's going on. Because we haven't done aggressively, been doing it at this level in a while in Oklahoma. So I said, all right, I want you to do this. And they called 3 counties. And like, again, they're going, I don't need that. And I'm like, all right, we got to do some more research. So we're still digging a little bit deeper. I have to add that we're still digging a little bit. I said, I need you to talk to a couple title companies and then get back to me on this one just to confirm we're not nuts. But it just so the jury's not out yet. So follow me on. So hang with me there. But it opened up this whole discussion about, God, look at the things that have changed. So here was my thoughts on this. My thought process is I believe that maybe this was something that was done back in the time when title was being created. Do you want me to continue on this path?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
This is what we were talking about together in the bathroom, right? As I'm brushing my teeth. This is really what was going on. I said, I was thinking about this whole Oklahoma abstract thing. And I think this is because everyone I could find online, it was all this scrolly thing. Like it was from the 1800s and the early 1900s. I said, I think this is back when California was getting going and creating, their own version of title companies and doing it themselves. This is what Oklahoma, I think, was doing. And now I think the whole title search and the whole title everything has now just become a norm across the country. So I think that's maybe wiping out this old way of doing things. And that's why it's not, an issue right now and why these sellers don't have anything to hand to the next guy anymore. So that's where this is coming from. And that launched you and I talking about, well, look how much things are just changing, not just technology, but the way that we're doing deeds. I mean, my staff, it's a rule now. We don't send them in the recorder. You find out if there's online recording first.
That's a great example.
Mail is a backup. If they don't do online recording, then we do regular mail. But
I mean, the way that when I started in this, the way that you bought and sold a piece of real estate, if I described it to everybody listening to this, you would laugh. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as email. So it was all telephone and FedEx. And the older guys in my office were like, can you believe we have FedEx? We don't have to send this in the mail and it doesn't take 2 weeks to get it back. It used to take 6 months to close a real estate deal.
That crazy? Yeah.
So, and we don't have any choice about it. We don't have it. Like, I don't sit around. If you sit around and say, you know what? I'm never going to use that thing called email. I'm going to do it my way. You'd be done.
Could you imagine?
So this whole abstract thing, and I love your e-recording, in some counties you still have to physically mail the thing in with a check, and they get it and they record it, put a book and a page number on it, and send it back to you in the mail. And all that takes 2 weeks. And some counties, like mostly urban counties, they have an online system for it. You get a book and a page number in seconds. It's all automated. So that's a perfect example of technology is changing. So in this whole story about, I didn't really realize this whole Oklahoma abstract thing until they're doing deals. That happens to us every day. And if you're a real estate investor or a business owner, you know this. Right. You don't sit around and pre-plan Oklahoma to no longer become an abstract state. You get in there and screw it all up.
Exactly.
Use the wrong terminology. The people that you're talking to are up to speed, like escrow agents and stuff. They laugh their heads off at you.
Like, here's another one.
Yeah, here's an old man got another old man on the phone who thinks they're supposed to be an abstract, and everybody laughs about it, and then you move forward on the deal. That's just how you get through it.
Right.
So there's hundreds and hundreds of examples that we could have about what's changed in real estate deals, and it's everything. You just have to embrace it, and you have to say, "Wow, this is great! It's actually faster," and not fight it. I see people older than me really fight this stuff, and they're wrong.
I know. It's all meant to be better and faster and easier, which it really is. Yep. I think that's
another thing that, I'll leave it on this. there's all these laws that are way old laws that say everybody who owns a piece of real estate, it needs to be a matter of public information. And back when that law was made, you'd have to go into the county, dig through some big old dusty book. It's called Book and Page, and find out who owns that piece of property over there.
Right.
And see that Mrs. Smith owns it. And, here's her address, and it's all written in there. And so nobody did it. It was too hard.
Right.
So this business model of offering people, sending these offers to see if they want to sell their properties has been around since the 1800s. It wasn't feasible from a time standpoint. So the laws haven't changed. Technology changed.
Right.
And companies like RealQuest Pro and DataTree are aggregating all this data and making it, for people who are up to it, like us and our members. It's the greatest thing ever. Jill and I have made, it's almost $100 million monopolizing on this technology at the right time, all throughout our careers combined with different stuff. So, it's a great thing. The whole point of this show is it's great, not bad.
Right. I got to add something, which I'm shocked and amazed, and it's awesome. I really am wondering what's the fate of title agents are going to be, because let me tell you, what I have at my fingertips right now, because of the tools that we have, I can go in, I can pull not just the vesting deed. I can really do my own thing. I can look at mortgages. I can look at liens. I can pull up I do everything that a title agent does right now today. So, and I question some of here's my thing too. I question some of my title agents, like, are you even as up to date as I am?
Yeah.
Do you have the latest and greatest access?
I'm sure they don't.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm sure of it.
So it's so interesting. We might be coming on a big shift here as far as, what's really needed.
Yeah.
With that, because we all know too, if you ever look. We all know if you've ever done a property, bought and sold a property and had title, right? And you ever actually read the title report, they only guarantee what they can find. That's it. They don't guarantee anything outside what they can find. So if I can find and I have access to more than them, I kind of wonder what the point is. I'm going to get off this.
Every once in a while you say, look. And when all the kids are like, and me too, like, what did she say? What did I do? And sometimes in the office too, it's like everyone stops. Like she said, look.
Look, listen here.
That's it right there.
Yeah. That's right. Look, listen, title agents. I'm not seeing the value. You need to up your game. Sorry.
Join us next time for the episode called The Real Deal on these silly land education courses.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community found at landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Hey,
we scratched the surface on this. There should be books or series of books, like textbooks on keeping up with technology in the business that you're in.
Exactly. Except as soon as you write it, it's outdated.
Yeah. No, it should be like...
Not the real technology.
It shouldn't be a book. It should be like... I know there's, keeping up with like a website subscription thing about here's the latest and greatest stuff and how to close a real estate deal. And this is probably what our company is.
That's kind of who we are. Thank you. I'm not going to say it. You know what I was going to say, but I'm not going to say it. Wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.